A check flight is the final proof of the job when any major repair or mechanical work has been done on a plane. You see, a lot of things only show up in the air. Any adjustments you've made have to be proven in flight. The pilot gives the plane a good trial flight, tests for everything, and if he finds anything that isn't right, he'll tell you about it as soon as he brings the plane down. Whatever may be wrong, the adjustments after the check flight are a troubleshooting job. For instance, one common trouble is nose heaviness. Instead of holding a normal attitude, a nose-heavy plane tends to descend all the time, so the pilot has to use the controls all the time to keep her in level flight like this. A common cause of nose heaviness is stabilizer trouble. To locate that on this plane, the first thing to do is set the control to neutral. Then check at the tail to see if the stabilizer's in neutral. If it isn't, the cable is probably slipping at the pulley in the cabin. Take off the handle and the cover plate first. Take a look at the indicator return spring. It might be weak or stretched. Inspect the stabilizer screw cable and wipe it clean of anything that might have made it slip. Then test the pulley for slipping. Now try the system through the whole range of adjustment. Run it all the way down and all the way up to make sure the cable is driving the screw mechanism correctly. Now oil the pulley in the cabin, but be careful you don't get oil on the cable. And put the cover back. Finally, set the control to neutral and close the inspection covers. Now, another time you may get a tail-heavy report. Tail-heavy means just the opposite of nose-heavy. When it should hold to level flight here, the plane tends to fly with the tail down, which makes it a lot harder to fly. Now, for one thing, too much weight in the luggage compartment will make the plane tail heavy. Take a look and see it isn't overloaded. But usually the trouble will be a badly adjusted stabilizer, and you'll have the same kind of a job as for nose heaviness on that. Then, of course, another check flight has to be made to prove the job. Yaw is usually caused by some kind of incorrect rigging, and in flight the plane doesn't hold a normal forward course. Instead, yaw makes it tend to crab all the time the way it would in a heavy wind, so the pilot must constantly work the controls. To check the rigging, the first thing to do is level the plane. On this one, adjustable jacks go under the axle stubs. Your helper raises one wheel by pulling on the wingtip, and you slide the jack underneath. Then he pushes up at the outer end of the lift struts, and you place the other jack. Finally, you put an adjustable tripod under the tail wheel bracket. Now, take your level and a spacer and place the level across the cabin just back of the door opening with the spacer on the right side. Have your helper adjust the jacks until the plane is level laterally. Next, move the level to the left upper longeron and have your helper adjust the tripod at the tail until the plane is level fore and aft. Finally, recheck the lateral level. A yaw tendency might be caused by several things. One is the alignment of the fin. Run a plumb bob down its trailing edge and check its alignment. If that's all right, you check the level of the stabilizers next. Set the level along the trailing edge. Okay on this one. Now the other. And that one's all right too. If they were off, you'd have to adjust the brace wires, of course. Another possibility here is unequal dihedral in the wings. Take the bevel protractor and set it to the specified number of degrees for the plane. Measure the dihedral of one wing. Yes, it's okay. Now try the other one. Now this one's high. Okay, your right wing is out, so you have to take the bolts out of the lift struts at the fuselage. Then, while the helper holds the wingtip for you, you adjust the front lift strut until correct dihedral shows in the wing. A yaw can also be caused by badly aligned ailerons. To check them, center the stick in the cabin first, accurately, by measuring the distance from the side of the cabin to the stick. Then check the droop on each wing, and if one is out of line, like this, you have to adjust the aileron cables. Let out one turnbuckle a couple of turns and take up the other until the aileron shows correct alignment. Then, safety the turnbuckles, and the plane's ready for another check flight.